Hi there, Sandy Freshie here, back with another video. Welcome back everyone, and if you're new here, welcome for the first time. Glad to have you. Today I want to share a little bit about my framework for how I work with people, not only with their human design blueprint, but also with their soul blueprint, and how that kind of works together to give you a full picture of who you are. Some of you may know, or you may not know, that prior to getting trained and certified in human design, I was trained and I did for several years professionally intuitive readings from the Akashic records. So I've always done that for my friends and family, and I kind of put that on the back burner when human design came along. And over the past year or so, there has been this melding of the two. And I want to share why this is important and to kind of give you an understanding of the big picture of where human design fits in with your soul design or with your soul blueprint. So I've heard other professional intuitives, different people who work in the spiritual realm talk about or mention that they're not really on board with human design because to them it is a system of limitation. And I 100% agree with that human design is a system of limitation. But before you ball your human design chart up, if you've got it written down on paper or printed out on paper, before you ball it up and throw it out, I want to kind of put this in context. Ultimately, at our true essence, we are these infinite beings. And just take a breath and imagine the expansiveness of your soul essence and its desire to have experiences, to come down here to the earth plane and live out some experiences here that would contribute to its growth. So it has to squeeze what it can of itself into a human form to do that. And the only reason that an infinite essence of a being would want to do that is because there's value in it. There is great value in limitation. So that blueprint that is your human design chart that looks like that, it's kind of like the guardrails of what your soul has agreed to in order to move through this life experience to get what it needs to get, to grow, to evolve, and to develop. So if it didn't have that, this part of your consciousness that is embodied would still be out there in the field of infinite potential, the field of pure potentiality, and there would not be this container for it to have these experiences. So yes, human design is a system of limitations, and it's a system of limitations because it's showing you, or as you get into your design and you begin to experiment with it, you begin to understand that this is sort of reorienting your form, like harmonizing and repositioning your physical body, which is the vehicle really for the soul, to be in the right places, to be flowing without resistance, so that your soul can get the most from this experience. So if you want to look into what your soul agreed to in terms of this life experience and maybe what it carried in from past experiences in other bodies, you can look to the personality side of your chart, which is that black side, the mind side of your chart, and those themes on that side will give you a good idea of what the mind and the personality are here to sort of work out and what they have to work from. And you can also look at the red side of the chart where your body is, your unconscious side, and you get an idea for what the form, what the body needs and what the body's themes are. in this particular incarnation. So these are the guardrails. These are the roads and the tunnels and the agreed upon experiences that your soul has stepped into, has squeezed part of itself into to have this real-time earth plane experience. So here's the problem that I've seen with people who are really struggling to live from their design. Those of you who may be struggling with your strategy or your decision-making authority and all of those guidelines that we have for our human design experiment, you can be fooled into thinking that this is all there is, that this experience, this way that you are to be in the world is this finite thing, and this is all that you are here for, or to do, or to be. And there's nothing wrong with that when you remember your divine essence, right? When you remember that most of you is living in this infinite field of potential. And if you tried to stuff all of that into your body all at once, you would explode. But when I work with people who don't feel empowered by their designs, and maybe you've struggled with this as well. Maybe you have a strategy, one of the strategies to wait, and you are feeling disempowered because you're sitting down waiting and nothing is happening, right? You know that it doesn't feel right to push yourself out there, so what do? You could spend a lot of energy, waste a lot of your energy, your time, your life force, your focus, your joy for living on this one limited understanding that you need to wait. Even if you're one of the manifestors who has this ability to initiate and to just do what you want when you're clear about what you want to do after you inform, right? You can also feel really disconnected from your true power because maybe you've forgotten that most of you on that soul level has way more power and capacity that you could be bringing through in your daily life. So this disconnect that I'm speaking of is really kind of a loss of memory, a loss of the memory of who you are, a loss of this understanding that you have at your access an infinite pool of spiritual, unseen, maybe even quantum, if you want to put that in your framework, levels of support that you can begin to work with, to connect with, to pull through your perception and through your consciousness, and that you're not here all alone waiting to be empowered, waiting to connect with those people who are supposed to be coming to you or who you're supposed to be initiating, waiting for your life to come together. These unseen aspects of your energy, of your place within the divine matrix, are kind of like glue and amplifiers and empowerment devices that you have at your access all the time. And it's just a matter of remembering that this here in these flesh and bone suits that we wear, these flesh and bone bodies that we're in, is not all that there is to us. So when I work with people on the soul level, as well as through understanding their human design, I'm working to connect you with the greater reservoir of energy that is you. Not just in here, but that the rest of you that couldn't squeeze into this bodysuit. And this can be contributing to your overall well-being and abundance. I really want you to remember the magic that you have, or the seeming magic from these aspects of you that just couldn't fit into this suit here, right? It's all available to you. And for me, I work with a specific framework, and this framework helps me to establish and interpret the energies that I feel from your soul essence, that I see from your soul essence. And it's only one framework among many frameworks that could be used. So my framework includes things like the concept of higher self, the concept of soul groups and soul history, the concept of your soul level gifts, your divine gifts that you're here to live out through your design. And often when I go to that level where we're looking at you through your soul record in the Akashic records, I can see how your human design is facilitating your soul level gifts. And then once you remember that you have these huge gifts that you're here to filter through this limited experience so that you can build upon those gifts and develop those gifts even more, then you have a more integrated understanding and a more empowered understanding of who you are and why you're here and what this operating system that is your human design is all about. So the people that I work with on this level have all kinds of breakthroughs in the sense that they're able to clear long-term patterns that maybe they've worked on their whole lifetimes. Maybe they've even come to human design to correct in a certain way. And even though they may be living correctly within their vehicle, maybe they feel that they are fully aligned with who they were meant to be in this lifetime, there still may be these patterns and these sticking points that are holding them back. So as I interpret their energy through this framework and the energy solutions come up for them or come through for them, then they can clear and heal maybe those things from their soul history or those things that we perceive as their past lives that have been hanging on to them and dragging down their energy and disconnecting them from their true sense of divinity. All of that begins to clear. And not only that, but they get this grounding of more of their divine energy into their human design. This enlightening sense that they have more power than they realized that they had. So if this piques your interest, if this is something that you really resonate with, or even if you have questions about how do these two things, your soul and your human design, fit together and work together, I invite you to leave some comments about your questions, and I will also leave some links in the description that will help you to understand this work a little bit more. So thank you for letting me share my framework with you around this level of work that I do. I know that it's not for everyone, and I recognize that if you're just grappling with strategy and authority right now, that is where you need to be, especially if you are someone who came to human design from the broader perspective of spirit and the broader perspective of your soul. Your understanding of your human design blueprint is going to help you ground all of that spiritual connection that you have into your earth plane existence. And if for some reason you have somewhere along the line you've kind of gotten disconnected from that, this is the type of work that will help you to reconnect to yourself at a very powerful and expanded level. So thank you for being here. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you know anyone else who would benefit, please share it out. And until the next time, be well.